Stop. You're listening to this podcast right now, and I need you to hear me. You're not stuck because you're lazy. You're stuck because you're waiting. You're waiting on something. Maybe it's confidence or clarity or the perfect timing. And Dr. Seuss had a name for it over 30 years ago. Dr. Seuss called it the waiting place. And today, we are getting you out. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the I Dare You podcast. This podcast, you know this, it's all about you and helping you reach the big goals that you have for your life and what next steps you want to take to get there. And I'm your host, Darrin Johnson. I'm so glad you're here. If this is your very first episode, I can't imagine a better one. Welcome. And for those who've been here since the beginning, welcome back. Everyone, make sure you are subscribing and following the show. I don't want you to miss a one. Okay, I love this time of year. I mean, it is graduation season. Can you feel it? There are caps and gowns and pictures and parties. What a beautiful ritual this is. And one of the most popular gifts every year for new graduates is that book by Dr. Seuss, Oh, the Places You'll Go. It was published in 1990. Did you know that? And it's still a graduation season phenomenon. It has sold more than 10 million copies so far and counting. This book, Oh, the Places You'll Go, it is a timeless leadership lesson hiding in plain sight. You know, most people think it is just a kid's book, like a niche type book. It's actually not. It is one of the best leadership books you're ever going to read. And here's the part in it that is not just for kids. It's not just cute. It's a warning. And if it's been years since you've read it or you've never read it all the way through, I want to refresh it today because it's more relevant than ever. So here's where we're going. I'm going to show you three things. Number one, how adults end up in the waiting place. Number two, the hidden cost of staying there. And number three, a simple exit plan you can run in the next 7 days. And just so you know where I'm coming from, I'm not here to call you out. I'm here to call you forward, like a coach, like a mentor, like a friend who cares about you too much to let you sleepwalk through a chapter that matters. Because this episode, it's not just for new graduates, although new graduates should listen to this. It's for the parents listening. It's for the leaders, the entrepreneurs, the people carrying responsibility, the people trying to live a better life. And I think I just described you. Now, can you remember back when you graduated high school? For some, it was just a couple years ago. For others, like me, it was a long time ago. But you remember it, right? I mean, when you're 18 years old from high school or 22 from college, a chapter change, it is so public. I mean, there are people celebrating you, relatives come into town, they clap, they cheer, they take pictures, there's a cake. I mean, there's a ceremony, there's a party. But adult graduations, they happen all the time and they arrive unannounced. And there's no cap, there's no gown, there's no applause, and definitely there's no graduation cake. I mean, life just hands you a new chapter and says, okay, who are you going to be now? Here you go. I'm thinking a lot about these adult graduations. I mean, they happen so fast. They're a blur. We never stop and recognize that indeed it's a new chapter for us. It is a graduation time for us as adults. Marriages, divorce, becoming a parent. Maybe it's a career change or you're retiring from working your tail off for 40 years and you're thinking, now what? Maybe you're moving, relocating the family, that health challenge for you or for your spouse, or maybe it's a loss of a loved one. These are certainly stressful, they're traumatic, they're joyful, they're all those emotions, but they are also a graduation when life can change. They are a graduation into a different chapter in life. These are big moments in our lives. Or a moment where everything looks fine from the outside, but inside, you know, I'm doing a lot, but I'm not becoming who I want to be. And that's a horrible feeling. And what's interesting is this. Those adult graduation moments, they often come with a quiet decision point. It's not a dramatic one. It's very, very subtle. Will I step up to this chapter or will I stall? Will I grow or will I wait? And this is where Dr. Seuss becomes a better leadership coach than most people expect. In fact, I think he would have been the perfect guest on the I Dare You podcast. And books like The Places You'll Go prove it. Now, a quick shout out to the parents who are listening or grandparents who are listening. This part matters more than you think because the best graduation gift you can give your brand new graduate isn't one more speech. Believe me, as a parent, I've done it. I'm really good at speeches. But the best thing we can do is an example. It's letting your kids watch you step into your next chapter with courage, with humility. You know, I just read a stat that I cannot get out of my mind. By the time your child turns 18, you've already spent more than 95% of the time you'll ever spend with them in your lifetime. And about 75% of that time is already gone by age 12. I'll say it again, 75% is already gone by age 12. So if you are waiting for life to slow down, here's the truth. It won't. The chapter is being written whether we like it or not. Time is ticking. And when your kids see you take your health seriously, to fight for your marriage, to tell the truth, to do the right thing, to start again when it's hard, to accept failure and get up and do it again, to start that passion project and to lean forward into the fear and discomfort, that's when they learn something that no book can ever teach. Your life is a lesson, and it's still being written. So let's get into this. So in Oh, the Places You'll Go, Dr. Seuss, he is optimistic, but he's also very honest. So I'm going to take a minute and just refresh, and let's all get into the Dr. Seuss mood. Here are the first few lines from Oh, the Places You'll Go. Congratulations. Today's your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know, and you are the guy who'll decide where to go. Right? Optimistic. We love that. But he also acknowledges you'll hit slumps. You'll have lonely seasons in life. You'll have confusion. You'll have moments where it doesn't feel like you're winning. And then he introduces this place, almost like a trap, called the waiting place. And this nails one of the biggest traps that high performers fall into, that we fall into. He talks about being in the lurch and being in a slump. In fact, some of you might call it being in a flat spot, where things were going along just fine. All of a sudden, things aren't happening as easily as they used to be. And he writes, here we go. And when you're in a slump, you're not in for much fun. Unslumping yourself is not easily done. You can get so confused that you'll start into race down long wiggled roads at a breaknecking pace and grind on for miles across weirdish wild space, headed, I fear, toward a most useless place, the waiting place. For people just waiting for a train to go or a bus to come or a plane to go or the mail to come or the rain to go or the phone to ring or the snow to snow or waiting around for a yes or no or waiting for their hair to grow. Everyone is just waiting for the fish to bite or waiting for the wind to fly a kite or waiting around for Friday night or waiting perhaps for their Uncle Jake or a pot to boil or a better break, or a string of pearls, or a pair of pants, or a wig with curls, or another chance. Everyone is just waiting. So there you go. There's my Dr. Seuss interpretive reading for you on the I Dare You podcast. And I do that because it reminds us of this most useless place, the waiting place. It's where dreams go to stall. It's where momentum, everyone, it just disappears. It's where you tell yourself, I'll start when... fill in the blank. And I've been there more than once. Maybe you have too, but I don't think you've been there as much as I have in my life. So a quick test. If you've ever said, I'll start when, in the last week, welcome to the waiting place. And I want to say this gently and with a lot of love and with a lot of respect. The waiting place isn't where lazy people go. A lot of the time, it's where discouraged people go. They settle. It's where capable people go when they're tired of being disappointed. It's where responsible people go when they don't want to risk being wrong. It's where strong people go when they're just worn out. The waiting place is where you pause your life quietly. Now, let me make this real with a quick example. There have been seasons where I have told myself, I'll start when things slow down. And the truth is, things didn't slow down. Life just kept lifing. And I've been in corporate America for decades, and I've loved every minute of it. But I can think of a specific season in my life where I told myself, I'm going to pursue this passion project, the podcast, when things settle down. I was saying that for years. And guess what? It never slowed down. And life was just lifing. And the years were going by until suddenly a mentor said, what are you waiting for? Put this thing on a shot clock and finally start the podcast. And by doing that, I have become a exponentially better employee, dad, friend, husband, etc. The waiting place was just a quiet place to sit and it was just sucking me dry. And I don't know who needs to hear that message, but I've been in the waiting place. It's no fun. And I am now your mentor saying, what are you waiting for? Maybe you have a passion project or a thing in your life that you're pursuing and you're waiting for the exact right time. I'm here to tell you there is no right time. It's never going to slow down. So here's what changed everything for me. Picking one small standard, one small non-negotiable, and then putting it on the calendar. It was that mentor telling me, put this thing on the shot clock. You're going to launch this podcast in February 2022. It's on the calendar. That's the non-negotiable. Now make it happen. So did you catch that? To get out of the waiting place, I'm not talking about a personality makeover, not a dramatic reinvention, just one decision that proved to my brain, I'm not waiting anymore. I'm moving. And that's what I want for you. I want you to put your hand in your chest just for a second and take a deep breath. Because we are not going to think our way out of the waiting place. We're going to move our way out. And we're going to do it right now. Let's translate the waiting place into really clear adult language. We're not in high school anymore. Because for parents and leaders and entrepreneurs, waiting, it doesn't look like sitting around doing nothing. No, waiting looks a little different. Waiting looks like being busy, but we're still stuck. It looks like this. I'll focus on my health when this quarter ends. I'll be more present when the kids get older. I'll start the thing when I feel confident. I'll have the hard conversation when the timing is right. I'll slow down when I get through this season, when the kids get out of school, after the summer, after the holidays. If that's you, I'm not judging you. I've been there. I mean it. You're not broken. You're human. But I do want you to see the cost. The waiting place doesn't usually steal your future in one big decision. No, it's more insidious than that. It steals it in tiny delays. And here's the part that hits all of us hard. Waiting often feels responsible. I mean, it can sound like the wise decision, but sometimes it's just fear with a calendar. And I'm not saying fear like you're weak. I'm saying fear like you're normal. There's fear of failing. There's fear of being judged, fear of wasting effort, fear of realizing that you waited too long. Maybe it's not fear at all. Maybe the biggest obstacle you face is your comfort zone. You are way too comfortable in life. And the waiting place, yeah, it's a quiet comfort that can steal your dreams. One of my favorite quotes comes from a friend of mine and also a friend of the show, Dr. Julie Gerner, performance psychologist out of New York. She's fantastic. But here's her quote. The monster that smothers potential comes wrapped in a nice, comfortable blanket. I think she's just described the waiting place. The point is that what kills dreams isn't fear or failure, but sometimes more dangerous. It's comfort. Comfort is killing your dreams. The same instincts keeping you safe are also keeping you small. It's not the obstacles we face. It's not the challenges or the threats that are holding us back. It's all the comfortable, cozy, familiar stuff that's keeping us right where we are. No, Dr. Seuss was right. The waiting place is a bad place to live. Not because you won't be productive, but because you won't be present. And more importantly, you won't be becoming. I mean, the question that we all have to ask ourselves is, who are we becoming? In this podcast, we're not into judgment or shame, but we do put a laser focus on, okay, who are you becoming? How are you growing? How are you changing? And if you're stuck in the waiting place, that question is not happening. Quick audit for you, quick self-assessment, whether you're driving or you're working out or walking. Here's your question, and don't overthink this. Where are you waiting right now? What areas of life, what chapters of life, health, marriage, maybe your leadership, maybe it's your business, or maybe it's that passion project that you are pursuing, or maybe it's that hard conversation. Where are you waiting right now? Okay, now the obvious question is, how is it that high performers like you, how do you get stuck there in the first place? Now, let me tell you why parents and leaders and high performers are especially vulnerable to the waiting place, because you can always find a reason to wait. I mean, you can always find someone who needs you, your parents, your kids, your friends. You can always find a bill to pay. Yeah, that's who you are, trying to do the right thing. You can always find an emergency, can't you? Get on that white horse and fix it. You can always find a more responsible time. And the longer that you lead, the more you can justify delaying what matters most. You're not waiting because you don't care. It's the opposite. You're waiting because you care about everyone. And that's why this message, I'm giving it to you with a lot of love. Like a mentor, because you don't need to be shamed into change. We got enough of that going around. You need to be supported So now let's talk about the exit plan, how to leave the waiting place without blowing up your life. I mean, without pretending that you have no responsibilities, because I know you do. We all do. And without making this some big dramatic reinvention story. You don't need drama, but you do need direction. So let's get into this. The waiting place exit plan. It's a simple framework to get out. I call it WAIT, the acronym WAIT. Here's what the W stands for. What am I waiting for? So ask yourself now, what am I waiting on? What moment am I waiting for that may never come? What feeling am I waiting for? Is it confidence? Is it clarity? Is it energy? Because here's the truth. Most people aren't waiting for time. They're waiting for that feeling. Waiting for a feeling is not a great strategy. And action is the strategy. Okay, let's get into the second part of the acronym. A. Add one standard. What that means is not 10 goals, but one standard. What does a standard mean? It means a non-negotiable rule that you live by for this season. Something so clear that you can put it on a calendar, not a vibe, not a wish. So my standard is this. I don't wait for motivation. If it matters to me, it gets scheduled. That's my standard. Here are a few other examples. Health. I work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday. No negotiation, even if it's only for 20 minutes. Parenting. When I walk in the door, I give my kids 10 minutes before I touch my phone. Marriage. We do a 15-minute check-in after dinner, 3 nights a week. Phones down. How about for leadership? I don't carry a hard conversation longer than 72 hours. I schedule it. How about boundaries? My phone is out of my bedroom. It charges in the kitchen every night. I mean, these are examples, and you're probably thinking of a few standards for yourself. It is a kindness, really, with a whole lot of structure around it. It's how you take care of and build that future self. It's that person you want to be. It starts today. And the waiting place starts to lose the power the moment you choose a standard and put it on the calendar. All right, here's the third letter in the acronym WAIT. It is I. Insert it on the calendar today. Put it on the calendar now before the day gets away from you. Because if it isn't scheduled, it's not getting done. If it isn't scheduled, it's just a warm feeling. It's just a wish. Here's the final letter in the acronym, letter T. Text one person and say, hold me to this. All right, now, your turn. We're going to do this in just 30 seconds. I want you to say it out loud. I'm waiting for what? Now, what's the one standard or non-negotiable that you can commit to, that you can put on the calendar? Open your calendar and put it in. Now, text one person and say, hold me to this. That whole thing took 30 seconds, will take 30 seconds. Let's talk about you. I mean, it's graduation season for school, but for adults, it's always adult graduation time. What's the new chapter for you? Is it a health chapter, marriage chapter? Maybe it's a leadership or a business chapter. How about a parenting chapter? Let's say something right now that's going to give you a whole lot of relief. You don't have to know the whole chapter. You don't. You just need to turn the page. Okay, everyone, you now have the framework, but now we're going to make this thing real, because if I just leave you right here, I'm not sure if you're going to get out of the waiting place, and I don't want that to happen to you. So it's time. Here's my I Dare You challenge for you. For the next 7 days, I dare you to get out of the waiting place, not to prove something, not to impress anyone, but to build momentum and to leave the waiting place behind. The rules, they're simple. Number 1, pick one chapter. Number 2, put it on the calendar. And number 3, tell one person, just one, for accountability. Okay, here are the chapters that you can choose from. Choose one. Chapter 1, the parent chapter. 1 intentional hour with your kid this week. Phone away, fully present. And 1 conversation you've been putting off. Gentle, honest, needed, loving. Because a lot of parenting regret isn't about the big things. Have you noticed? A lot of the parenting regret that we all have, if you know, you know. It's about the small moments that we missed while we were waiting for life to slow down. Remember, 75% of the time you have all happens before they're 12. So here's chapter 2, the leader chapter. Have the clarity conversation that you've delayed. You know the ones. It's the feedback you need to give, the expectations, the boundaries you need to set. It's the person you know you need to manage out of the organization. But you've been waiting for years. You know they're not a good fit for the team. You know that they're miserable. You're miserable. You think about them all the time on weeknights and on weekends. Why are they still on the team? And if you are thinking, I don't want to hurt them, I want you to listen to this carefully. Clarity is kindness. Avoidance is not. You're doing them a huge favor by stepping into that and having the conversation. Okay, chapter 3, entrepreneurs out there talking to you. I want you to do one action you can point to and say, that's done. Publish, pitch, launch, ask, hire, follow up, call, finish. I'm talking about something measurable, nothing fuzzy here, something real, something that moves the ball down the field. Here's chapter 4. Maybe it's the health chapter for you. Choose one health standard for 7 days. You know, it's the non-negotiable. Maybe it's 3 workouts this week, or it's a sleep boundary, like a set bedtime, or your phone is out of the bedroom. Nothing fancy, just a standard. And here's the point. You don't need a new life this week. You need one small win that proves you're moving. Because here's the secret, and this is so empowering, you guys. Once you're moving, you're no longer living in the waiting place. And I desperately want that for you. Not because you're behind. No, because you matter and you're human. And the people who love you deserve the healthiest, clearest version of you. There you have it. That is your I Dare You challenge. And I want you to take this for the next 7 days. And drop me a DM on Instagram at I Dare You Pod. Let me know how that's working for you. I mean, the joy that you have of no longer being in the waiting place. And it's a continual effort. You'll drift there quietly in different areas of your life. Be aware of it, push back on it, follow the framework to avoid the waiting place. It's not a very good place to live. Okay, let's land this, everyone. Graduation season, it's a reminder for all of us. Chapters turn. And if you find yourself in an adult graduation right now, things are changing. You can feel it, but it's quiet. It's unseen. Please hear me. You do not need a ceremony to begin again. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect timing. You don't need that feeling first. You just need one decision that says, I'm stepping out of the waiting place. And don't overthink it. Pick your chapter and schedule it today. And if you know a parent or a leader or an entrepreneur who's been carrying a lot lately, quietly, waiting on life to lighten up, do me a favor. Send them this episode. And when you send it, here's the exact text you can use. Quote, no shame. Just a reminder. Let's get out of the waiting place. Not as pressure, but as encouragement. Back to the mantra of, who am I becoming? Now, before you go, I want you to hear this from me. I see you. I believe in you. And if you feel like nobody is in your corner, like nobody's there cheering for you or expecting great things for you, not true. Not true. I am. I am so in your corner. And the fact you're listening to this podcast, maybe for the first time or every single week, I don't take it for granted. And I'm so glad you're here. And if this episode connected with you, if it resonated with you, don't just stop there. Who's the one person you're going to share this episode with and take that step? And so now, if you need a final nudge to get out of the waiting place, I'm going to let Dr. Seuss finish the job from Oh, the Places You'll Go. Quote, kid, you'll move mountains. So be your name Buxbaum or Bixby or Bray or Mordecai Ale Van Allen O'Shea. You're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting. So get on your way. Everyone, thanks for listening to the I Dare You podcast. Enjoy graduation season. Oh, the places you'll go. Thanks for listening. I'm Darrin Johnson. This has been the I Dare You podcast. And get ready for next week. Another episode is coming your way, and I'll meet you there.